Hello and welcome to the What Leigh Makes YouTube channel. Sorry, I'm getting my drink. Today's date is the 16th of October 2023. Today's video is a roundup of my whips. These will be my knitting whips. I am desperately trying to fight daylight at the moment, so I'm trying to get through them as quickly as possible. So I know lighting isn't great, I'm really sorry. I will get through them as quick as I can. I want to film sort of what's going on here so I can resume regular monthly podcasting. So I will just grab and go just to get through them. So these are a pair of socks that have been on the needles for a long time. They are being knit on 2.75mm needles, and they are being knit on 9-inch circulars, neither of which are my preferences now. So I've done the leg and the heel, and I'm just started on the foot of this one. And then this one is the leg, foot is done, and then I'm actually decreasing the toe. I knit both of them up to the legs until I sort of pulled them out fairly recently, and I just don't know how often I'm going to wear orange socks. I didn't really want to rip them back to re-knit them in my method now, which is 2.5mm and on DPMs, if you are interested. So this is my current works in progress and things that are in the whip box because they need to be cast on fairly soon for various reasons. So the first is, so this one is going to be a t-shirt. It is in West Yorkshire Spinners Florist collection, possibly in the Fancies and English Rose, or the other way around. It's like the peachy set, pinky peachy set. It's really beautiful. I did wind them up. I think I started doing a flax light and then I don't think I'd increased correctly, and I just ripped it all out. So it's in there because the yarn has been wound up again, so I don't want to leave it too long. Probably will be another flax light at some point, hopefully soon. This might seem really chaotic, but I'm going to keep going. So this is a project, another one that I want to start. I've got a whole load of this. I think it's West Yorkshire Spinners. I think it's in the bubblegum colourway to go with fairy lights. So I was going to do possibly a flax light again. I haven't really decided, but a sort of a top, maybe a raglan, maybe a yoke sweater, and then just do short sleeves. So I'll do this for the top bit and then just knit this to the body is my hope. I might do this for the rib, then this, and then go back into this for the rest of the body. I've got more of the bubblegum in stash. This is more there as a reminder, but I have got the sparkle version and the normal version. I don't think you'll tell in this lighting. And I'm sort of just debating which one to use. It's October now, I might try and get this potentially knit up for Christmas this year. Who knows? Who knows? This is a project, so this is for a mould rainbow blanket in like the grey and jewel tones. I did discuss plans to knit this in my finished objects video, which I filmed earlier on today. There's one colour that's missing from here, along with one grey, because I thought I'd ordered them, hadn't, so I placed an order. It isn't something I plan to cast on too soon because I remember how addictive the last mould rainbow blanket was, but there's a lot of yarn here. There's a lot to try and find space for in the stash, and I want to keep it all together because it's for the same project. So it's just kind of hanging out in the whip box. Let's keep going. Oops. can see it's all getting a bit chaotic. So this is from Attic Spin Dye. It is, gosh, what colourway was this? Oh, it was some, I think it was some sort of bird reference, but it's this really beautiful sort of lilac-y colour with pink speckles again, and the lighting's not great. I bought it to make a Messelborough hat, which has been incredibly popular, or was at the time of me getting it, but it was just a finger and weight hat that you kind of knit as a big tube, and then sort of it then kind of folds in on itself almost, so it's sort of double thickness. I think the needles and stuff are in there. It literally just waiting to be cast on. This is a Rose Garden cowl by Crystal. I think it's Crystal Tea Knits. I've used the needles for something else, so I really hope I'm using the same needles as pattern calls for. This is the progress I've made so far, which isn't a whole lot. The yarn is from, it's a hand dye, she doesn't dye anymore. Can't think. Oh, Tiny Teal Handcrafted. It was a custom dye, so this was, I think it was Antique Rose colourway, which is just stunning. It's really beautiful tonal pink with brown speckles in it, and then I asked her to dye some minis to go with it for this cowl, which she did. So I've got a really beautiful like berry rose colour, a really pretty green, this one which I love, which is the cream and dyed yarn with pink speckles in it, which tone beautifully with this. And I would really like to get more of this and that to do the smaller version with. I do have her on Instagram. I've both her private account and her, what was her dyeing account. I think I did message her a while ago on her dyeing account, but I might message her on the normal account just see if she'd be willing to dye it as a custom order. But I don't know. I know she sort of had a career change and kind of stepped away from dyeing for a while. So this is what it would look like. I'm doing the middle one, which is the one with the 3 contrast colours and has kind of the green in it. The pink with the rose would be beautiful. The white with the pink and the rose would be beautiful for that one. I'd like to do the really long version at some point, but I'm in no hurry. I really hope I haven't just flashed my address. But it's an older dress now anyway. Sorry, beginnings. This is Everything's Everywhere, as you can see. Under the Olive Tree, Bring Out the Bunting shawl. It is a shawl pattern that was, I think it was released for the King's Carnation in a colourway by Wool Is the Answer, which is It's My Coronation Soon, which is this really beautiful white, pink and blue, which is like the white, blue and red for England. You can see it's very Sorry Beginnings. And I've already taken the needles off something else. Very, very tiny. But it's still a whip. It still exists. cannot wait to organise all of these a bit better. So it just hasn't been a priority. And then I have another ball of that same yarn with the blue to do socks at some point. I don't know why they're in this slip box, because it won't be a whip anytime soon, but I ain't asking questions right now. I'm just trying to plough through. And then the next one is not currently a whip, but it is something I would like to cast on fairly soon. So the yarn is from Yarn Unique. This is to do, it was a colourwork, a beginner's colourwork test knit for, is it Unwind Knitwear and the Arts Nuova tee, I think. It was inspired by, I think it was inspired by New York architecture, I think. If I remember, I really wanted it to be grey and gold. So the yarn is from Yarn Unique. It was a custom dye set. I've got 3 of the grey and 1 of this sort of goldy colour. The grey, it is on a silky yak 4-ply, which is 60% superwash merino, 20% silk, 20% yak. It is stunning. This is custom semi-solid in charcoal. I didn't want black, but it needed to be a really dark grey. And then this is on the same base, custom semi-solid gold, which is just beautiful. Look at that. I feel like on the camera it possibly looks more gold than just in real life, but then the lighting's not great either. So I haven't actually started that test knit. She did say she wasn't in a rush, it didn't matter because the patterns are already out. She just wondered how people would do if they were new to colourwork. But because I signed up to do it, I really do want to prioritise it soon. This is another failed test knit. I signed up to do loads of test knits because I really wanted to get into properly get into knitting, but I just didn't have the energy or the motivation. Right, so this is my swatch. I think I remember I was trying out whether I wanted to use grey or pink mohair. I'm going to go with pink in this one. The grey's in an upcoming project. I have absolutely no idea where I am with this, so it probably will all need to be ripped out and redone anyway. Another day. This was a test knit for a pattern that has been released since, which is the Fizzy Pop Cowl by Joanna Harriet from Twin Satin Pearl. Really beautiful cowl. I think I've already bought this pattern. If I signed up to do test knits and failed to complete them, I did buy the pattern so that I was still supporting the dyer, the creator. So I'm using Drops Alpaca Mix in colour 0501, which is a grey, and then I think this is the Drops Mohair in a hot pink. Yeah, that's that one. It's just notions. Okay, and then I have this one. Long-term viewers of the podcast will definitely remember this. I think a lot of these might be new. The English phrase, the Thanthus yarn, I think might have been on the podcast. I can't remember. This one definitely has. This is my what was it called? I used to be really good at remembering stuff. Castaways Tea by, what is it by? JST Knitwear Designs. I am knitting it in MSC, is that MSC makes? MSC yarn? Emma's yarn, sorry, Emma's yarn in Turtle Haven and I think this is Sea Foam. Turtle Haven and See Me Now. These bases are 80% superwash merino, 20% silk, 400 yards per 100 grams. There's a 4-ply. So I was really struggling with the pattern as it was written for the t-shirt. I just wasn't getting my head around how to do it. So I ended up just doing the flax light pattern up here, and then I'm just using the Castaways tee for this lace at the bottom, which I've just started. She also has a shawl pattern with the shell print, so it's it's a shell print on the bottom in lace. It's beautiful, and I would like to do that shawl too at some point. That's not actually too far from being finished. These are just some swatches of some information. Okay, this is being gripped out. And this is some knitting that I was trying to do about a year ago, actually. I was making a flax light. I think again there was issues with the increases, or I just weren't happy with how it was looking. So I ripped it back. I then recast it on a couple of months ago to do a different pattern, which is by Tiny Teal Handcrafted, the Colour Block Boxy Light, which looks like that. It is a free pattern, but I was working on it, but I'm just not totally in love. I was really struggling with the increases, and I just don't like how it's looking. So I think I'm going to rip this back and do the flax light again at some point. I just don't think I've got the energy. But this is yarn by Skein and the Stitch, Yorkshire Heather Fade set, which is just stunning. And I actually have, so that's based on kind of Yorkshire, and I have Adventures of Yarncraft's Jane Eyre advent calendar this year. So I wanted to get this knit as a top, so I could use like whatever I knit out of that, which might be a shawl, with the top, but I don't know now. So it's a fade set, so it's really light pink with speckles of sort of a lighter brown and green and stuff, and it's a medium tone pink with more sort of burgundy and darker pink and brown and green speckles, and it goes into this really beautiful like burgundy merlot-y tonal. Beautiful. So I will at some point rip that out and redo it. Really dislike ripping things out. And then this isn't a project, and at the moment I don't know what it's going to be. These are, bar this one at the top, these are mini skeins that I dyed with my knitting gills during a natural yarn dyeing day, and I really want to knit a project with either these or this. I will discuss in more detail when I actually start knitting them. This I dyed myself with acid dye too. This is a 50-gram DK. And then this is a sock blank. It's double stranded. It has started to unravel itself, which is really annoying. That's done with acid dye too and heat. but they are doing, like, at the November AGM, which is in about 5 weeks' time, they are doing like a share your projects thing, sort of like a show and tell almost. And one of the things is projects made inspired by a workshop that's happened this year at the Knitting Guild, or the Weavers, Spinners, Dyers Guild. And I really wanted to knit something out of something I dyed for that, but I don't think it's going to happen now. I don't know what I want to make. These are a whole range of sort of 20-gram minis, various different colours that have all been dyed. So I don't know what to make, whether it will be cast on anytime soon. Okay, this is in there, but it isn't actually important. It's just been put in the wrong place. It is yarn, it's just something different. Okay, and then this one is, oh, I'll discuss this one in a minute. So this is a never failed test knit. I got Drops Air Mix, and I did start it. I think this is for a Shawly Scarfy thing by, what's her name? Ponder and Ply. Is it Ira? Shawl, scarf, something like that. I again signed up to be a test knitter and just didn't have time to do very much. Again, I know for a fact I've bought that pattern, and I would like to finish it, but again, it's all time, isn't it? This is a pair of socks. These are Mojito colourway from West Yorkshire Spinners and Chocolate Lime colourway by West Yorkshire Spinners as the contrast. They are knit on 2.5, they are knit on 2.5mm, but they are being knit on 9-inch circulars, which isn't really a preference for me. So I think I might have a bit further to go before I need to do the heel. I will need to check. Actually, no, it looks like I've already done the heel on this. I've started it. So this one I am working on the heel flap already. They look very short though. Anyway, that is those. It's just a pair of vanilla socks. I'm sort of just trying to catch up with myself at the moment. And then, this is a never fail test knit. This is actually the last video that I did, the last proper sit down video I did before I went AWOL first time was in August 2022, and I was frogging this skirt then, I remember. So this was the Turnpike skirt by Be Making Joy. I'd started to test knit it, and then I was partway through it and realised I'd twisted the top bit, so I had to rip it back, and I just didn't have time to do it again. I believe I bought that pattern. I've got all the yarn. I'd like to finish it. I'd like to do it. The yarn is in here. I think I got enough to do the skirt and the top, the Turnpike top, to match, I think. These are a pair of Christmas socks. I'm trying out these, I think they're Addy, 2.5mm. But they're the, is it the Flyer? No, is it a higher that do the flyers, and then Addy do something very similar, but it's this kind of, it's a mixture between the 9-inch circulars and DPN. I was giving that a go. The colourway is West Yorkshire Spinners Gingerbread, and then the top is can't remember, it's the newest. They released like the jewel tone, like sunflower and fuchsia and Pacific and stuff. It was like the browny orangey colour that was released at that time. I can't remember what it's called. This is yarn from the yarn dispensary. I was going to do yarn from the yarn dispensary, the Croft Shetland Tweed West Yorkshire Spinners. I have it in 810 and 580, which is kind of speckly pink and then like a burgundy pink. I plan to knit this scarf and hat. So I plan to knit that scarf with it, and without giving too much away, that hat. This is a really beautiful book too. There's quite a few lovely things in here that I'd like to have a go at some point. So yeah, these. Okay, we're getting through. We are getting through, guys. So this. Oh, well, this is actually yarn from a finished object. It just needs putting away. So that's fine. That's nice and quick. This is a pair of socks. I think I just need to. I'm just waiting to graph the toe on this one. These were knit on 2.5mm needles, DPNs. I think off the top of my head I did knit more stitches. I think it might be 72 up here, so I did decrease down around here to be my normal 64, but it is yarn from Truly Woolrich in the colourway 4138. I've got one sock pretty much done. I just need to do the other one. The contrast is a West Yorkshire Spinners in lilac, which is being used in another project right now. I just need to set the toe and do the other sock. The lilac for that project is currently living in here, which is going to be my Strictly Sock Along socks for this year. I was going to do it, I think, last year or the year before, but it didn't happen. So I have made a very tiny start. I'm trying to watch Strictly the other week, but I was so tired. So that's being knit on 9-inch circulars, 2.75mm, which is what I had to hand. I plan to drop it down to 2.5 DPNs from the cuff onwards, and then I'm going to use Woolcraft Super Wash Sock Yarn in colourway 986, which is a really nice like tonal purple. So I do need to get a wiggle on with those. I actually need to start posting Data Ravelry and stuff, but I might do that tonight. What's this? This is another pair of socks. One is completely done. This is King Cole Zigzag in Wicked, which is a really nice stripy one. Just need to knit the other sock. And then this is a blanket that probably won't be featured very often because it takes so much to get anywhere with it. I don't know if I've ever discussed this on the podcast before, but this is blanket inspired by the rainbow mould baby blanket by Judah Stranded Dye Works. This is just kind of a scrap blanket of all the yarns that I've used in projects to try and document them. And I did it because some of the first few, well, quite a few just wouldn't be aesthetically pleasing just on their own, whereas with the cream fresh Yorkshire spinners in, I think it's a milk bottle, just helps tone it down a bit so it isn't quite so in your face. I don't love it, but I want to make it into a size, like a little lap blanket or something that's worth having as a blanket, but doesn't need to be huge. So just when I finish a project, I'm just trying to chuck in a couple of stripes, each colour. Some of them I have used up everything that was left of the yarn, and others I sort of just used a bit and then used a bit and then put the rest with a label for scraps. I'm writing down what yarn I'm putting in and sort of what it was used in originally and roughly when it was used. And then that's just materials for kind of weighing out any leftover bits and labelling them. So that's like my scales and labels and stuff. Right. Last thing. Really quick whistle stop tour. I'm really hoping the camera doesn't die. So the last thing is collection of West Yorkshire spinners in, I think it's in cream, poppy seed, licorice and Dusty Miller. I bought them to do a shawl a couple of years ago, didn't use them. They've obviously been wound up ready to knit, so I don't like knitting from a shop bought ball. And then obviously the Stephen West cal for this year came along. That's them in their swatch. I was going to use the Jobs Kid Silk mohair as my mohair dare. I didn't cast on in time, things have been really busy, and then obviously it's been a bit controversial around the cal. Let me know your thoughts. I'm still debating whether to join, but I think that would be really nice in the shawl. So let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.